Welcome to the Space and Grace podcast. I am your host, Tanisha Harris, and I am your CHEO, Chief Honesty and Encouragement Officer. Here at Space and Grace, we focus on healing, laughing, thriving, and loving. And we do that by granting ourselves and others the space and grace to evolve in very practical ways. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Hello, guys. Hello, friends. Everyone. How are you on this day? How are you doing? I hope and pray that as you're listening to my voice, that you are doing as well as we all can be. I am here and I'm excited that you are here with me for a full episode of the Space and Grace podcast. Finally, a full episode. Listen, I have to take my time with these podcasts because I'm clear that I want to be authentic and intentional. I don't want to just talk to talk, just to have a podcast. I normally type out my thoughts, so at least I can have a guide. Season one, I literally typed everything that I wanted to say. Season two, I am typing out thoughts and really speaking from the heart, which is hard sometimes because if I make a mistake, I stop and I re-record, y'all, because I want this to be of quality. But I want you all to hold me accountable to being authentic and to being intentional. So we're not just going to meet here just to say we have 100 episodes. That's just not what I want to do. Okay, so I hope you appreciate that honesty from me. Okay, so moving on to today's topic. I really want to share and talk about the daily practices that I do to create my life. So I'm really on this journey of creating and designing the life that I want. And for me to do that, I really have to be intentional about the things that truly allow me to be happy, or shall I say, full. Being full and being creative really allows me to open up myself in a way that I can readily receive the greatness that I deserve. And so creating or designing my life means that I get to move freely in this world without the influence of others and their opinions, without family influence, without cultural influence, without thinking how it affects work. I get to create the life that affects me, and I use my heart and my soul as a guide or a barometer to measure when I'm actually being authentic in designing my life. So, these are some practices that I try to commit to daily or weekly. They've really proven to be super helpful for me in really organizing my day. And if I look at this from a day to day standpoint, a month to month standpoint, it really is a great intentional way to design your life. And so these are practices that some of them I have fallen by the wayside, and I can tell. When I am not in a space where I am open and creative, I tend to worry more, even more, like a lot more. And that worry spills over into all aspects of my life: work, love, friendship, family. And it's not healthy. It's not healthy for my body. It's not healthy for my heart. It's not healthy for how I want to contribute to the world. It's not healthy me being a mother. And so it is really important that I stick with these. And I haven't. I haven't, if I'm just being honest. And so I can see now the benefit of sticking to them because I have been a worry wart, y'all. Another topic. Okay, so if I identify a practice that truly fills me up, then I keep it. I try to figure out, should I do this daily? Is it overwhelming for me to do it daily? Is it more of a weekly practice or a monthly practice? And then if I identify a practice because I just want to try something new and I don't like it, I just don't do it. I put it away. Maybe I try it again when I'm more open or more ready. But if it doesn't work for me right now, I don't do it. So, one of the first daily practices, and this is something that I do every day, is going outside. Now, listen, I'm just saying, I can probably be outside more than other people, but I absolutely love it. I can sit outside on my balcony for hours. Most days, I can drop my daughter off, I come back in and get prepared for the workday. And if I don't have a national meeting, like a national webinar to be on, then I can take most of my meetings sitting on my balcony. It's quiet where I live, and so I don't have to worry about a lot of background noise, occasional airplane or so. And I truly love it. When it's time for me to pick my daughter up, I feel good. I am filled up. I enjoy watching the clouds roll by. I enjoy listening to the birds chirping. I just really enjoy being outside. If I had to describe myself, I would be a country girl through and through who loves city amenities. So, like, I would get up and go to the city and hang out in the city and do all things city. And then I want to come back home where it's quiet, where I can lay out on a quilt on the grass and look at the stars. Don't judge me. And if you haven't done that, you're missing. You're just missing out. I'm just being honest. Another practice that I enjoy, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy this sometimes even in the summer, and that's having a cup of coffee outside. I drop my daughter off, I get back home, and I pour me a cup. I only have one, and I definitely try to drink at least 12 to 24 ounces of water first before my coffee. But just being there, and sometimes I do this in my reading area. I have a yellow chair in my living room where I kind of set up and get my books and just read. And so drinking my coffee, enjoying the flavor really just allows me to just reflect for the day. Sometimes I reflect on my weekend, how much fun I had, or if there were other things that I wanted to do. Sometimes I just get myself prepared for the next day or the week. And I pause. I take the time to just pause. So maybe there's a beverage that you like. Um, Carve out that time throughout the day and just kind of sit and reflect in the quiet. I love that. Okay, another practice, and this isn't daily necessarily. I don't do vision boards annually anymore. When I first started doing vision boards, it was great for me to think about how I wanted to move within my year. But after about 3 months, so much has changed or would change for me, I would look at them again. And so, literally, just last week, I felt the nudge to really start to be visual about creating this life. And it helps because I am such a visual person and a visual learner. I'm very much hands on, or I like to see things. And so I just created these small guided vision boards. And there were 4 things that I really wanted to focus on: travel, love, faith, and being authentically me. And so I identified pictures that I already had in my phone that really resonated with me with those topics. And I created these small little guided vision boards. And I pull them out in the morning after I have gotten ready for the day, and I just look at them and I just reflect on them throughout the day. It really allows me to make decisions throughout the day that align with where I want myself to be. And these are my guided visions for right now. In 3 months, that may change, and that's okay. So, doing the vision boards annually just was too big of a scope for me. If I'm going to design and create my life, you do that by creating habits daily. So I look at it throughout the day. I look at it once again before I lay down so I can tuck those things in my heart, so I can sleep with those things and really reflect on those things. And then I get up and I do it again. So think about that. Think about what practices that you may have heard other people do and how you can kind of tailor it and fit it to your needs. Okay. Another practice, and I don't listen to these daily, and I'm not just saying this because I have one, but I love podcasts. It is a great way for me to just hear other thoughts about so many things. It's a great way for me to learn new things. It's a great way for me to unlearn new things. And there are podcasts about every topic ever. If you're looking for a podcast around healing, check out the Space and Grace podcast. I couldn't even get it out without laughing. I can't even plug myself. I got to work on that, right? But I enjoy them. There are podcasts that are as short as 10 minutes, 15 minutes, some as long as an hour and a half. But it's really a great way for me if I'm wanting to learn more about a topic or study a topic. It's an additional way for me to just kind of gain that information to really give me some ideas so I can shape my thoughts and my perspective on a topic. So, love, love, love podcasts. If you travel a lot for work, or if you have to be out throughout the day, listening to a podcast is a great, great way to create and design the life that you want. Traveling outside of the place in which you live. If you live in a bigger city, you may get to visit different parts of that city for a year or so, and you are still kind of learning the city. If you live in a smaller city, it may be important for you to kind of travel a little more. And that's what I've learned too. Even traveling within the state that I live, as an adult, things are different to me than when I was younger. And so when I can just get up and go, I feel so good. I feel so free. One of the things that I have learned about creating my life is that I really do not like limitations. And I don't like for people to place them on me, and I don't like to place them on myself. And so just getting up and go, trying a new restaurant, going to a new museum is so freeing for me. And I get to, again, see different things from a different perspective. I get to look at life a little differently. And I love that. That helps me to grow in the ways that are important to me and important to my heart. So I definitely say travel is important. Of course, you may not be able to do that daily, but just think about how you can incorporate these things into your life. That's what I'm doing. Okay, this one I definitely don't do daily. I'm trying to get back into it, but it's stretching and or working out. Both or right? When I stretch before bed, I sleep so much better, and so I've started to do my stretches again, stretching for maybe about 10 minutes. Really trying to identify the best ways to work out to where I actually can see some results. So increasing my heart rate and really working on strength training and what that looks like. We don't have to talk about that one a lot. I think we all know that there are benefits to exercising, particularly mental health benefits. So start small. It doesn't have to be you being a full gym rat, 40 minutes a day for 5 days. I think that's a great goal if that's particular or personal for you. But identifying those small ways are going to be ways that you can continue to create an actual practice. Another practice that I just absolutely love is cooking and eating healthier. I love to take foods that I grew up on and identify ways to keep them flavorful. Okay, don't trip. I use seasoning, but to also make them healthy. And cooking for my family fuels me so much. I know that that is a tradition that I have just picked up from my mom and my grandparents and our ancestors. I truly, truly love cooking foods and asking people to come over and eat. And sometimes I see my grandma and myself where I'm looking at people like, are you not going to get seconds? Like, go back and get seconds, take some home. So I have to kind of slow down on that because I don't want to overwhelm people. But I envision having a home with a big kitchen where I can be the home where my friends and their families can come and we can just laugh and have a really good time over some good food and just really live life with each other. That's super important to me. And I love to get to do that in my home. Like, I don't want people trying to help me cook, get out of the kitchen. I don't want you trying to help me clean up. I appreciate that. But cooking for my family and for my friends, I absolutely adore. So I cannot wait until God blesses me with the home, with the big kitchen. I want a farmhouse sink. I want a big island where my family and friends can just come and just hang out. That's super important. And my last practice, and there are many more that I do within the year, but my last practice that's super, super, super important to me is journaling. I absolutely love to journal. I have not done it as much, and I can see the benefits that I need to go back to do them. I can see where I began to start to worry. Journaling allows me to get all the thoughts and words out. in out of my head and onto paper. And to be honest, this podcast allows that too. I tend to try to be real on my Instagram, and so social media allows that for me as well, to really kind of sit with my thoughts and where I am. And I learn more when I share with people, and then they also say, "Oh, I'm feeling the same way. I'm so glad you shared." And so journaling has really been a really good practice for me. Um, I'm kind of in the space now where I'm trying to identify if I want to journal when I get up in the morning, or if I want to reflect and journal in the afternoon, if I would like to just wait until the end of the day. But journaling has always been a great practice for me, and so it's something that I'm always going to keep up. And I didn't have this one down, but I thought about it, and so I have to say it: therapy. Definitely not daily, but it's so essential to creating and designing the life that I want. I get to learn and identify coping skills to help me navigate my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions in a healthy way. And it really helps me to navigate and move in the world that's more beneficial for me. So I cannot leave without saying therapy. So, all of those daily practices, spending time outside, reflecting in the morning with my morning coffee, creating guided vision boards, listening to podcasts, traveling outside of your home, stretching and exercising and working out, cooking and eating with family and sharing those meals with family, and journaling and therapy are practices that I currently do, all within their own frequencies as I see fit, that really are helping me to create and design my life. I hope there's one or two of these that you can pick up. If you have any questions about any of them, or how to create them, or how to start them, or what that looks like, please, please, please let me know. I am super interested in engaging with you guys outside of the podcast. And so the best ways that we can do that is email. You can email me at spaceandgraceand podcast@gmail. You can also find me on social media. So I am super excited about doing that with you all. Let me know how you feel about the podcast. Let me know about your thoughts, any topics that you have, and please share with me, what are your daily practices? What do you do to create the life that you want? So that's it, guys. That wraps up today's episode. Remember, Space and Grace focuses on healing, laughing, thriving, and loving. We want to show the beauty and strength in offering space and grace to every aspect of our lives. Y'all ready? Let's do this.